Hello everyone, welcome back to the Addicted Bookworm, where my addictions all over the internet. On this channel, do book hauls, book reviews, both physical and digital, audiobooks, and so much more. So I'm doing a review of Simon R. Green, Paths Not Taken, a novel of the Night Side. This is actually book 5 of the series, and I started reading this series back in the early 2000s, maybe like a couple years after it came out, and it's about this world known as, or this part of London known as the Night Side, where all sorts of creatures live and all sorts of pleasures can be explored. And it is about a guy called John Taylor, who we later on find out is the son of Lilith, and he has the ability to find lost things. And he is feared by everybody in the Night Side. So in this one, in book 5 of Simon R. Green's wonderfully done urban fantasy novel series, which has 11 chapters in, if you guys want to know, and an epilogue. What happens is John and Shotgun Susie go back in time to the very beginnings of the Night Side, but that is a gradual thing. We just don't immediately go there. We kind of go back in time to kind of see how the Night Side kind of de-evolved. Because you go back in time, everything's going to de-evolve. So we go to places like Londorium, or, well, the Roman name for what were the Romans called what would be known as London, and basically what happens is we encounter the Roman legionnaires, Roman citizens, things like that, but let's kind of hold a little bit and let's go forward a little bit. So the first place that they actually go to is around the time of the death of King Arthur, and they meet a very living Merlin Satan spawn, who is the only begotten son of the devil. And he is a very nasty character, but because he believed in Arthur, because Arthur believed in him, he became good, and he was always battling Morgana Le Fay, and so when they go to meet up with Merlin, he's drinking himself literally almost to death because of the fact that he lost Arthur, and then you have the female witch that Merlin fell in love with. And what happens is that they're there on the day that Merlin actually is killed, but they actually manage to get Merlin's heart and kill Merlin's girlfriend. And then they drag her body to the Roman era, which is weird. This is also a time. So, okay, hold. The time that they arrive is around the time that Christianity is starting to sweep across the Roman Empire. This is during the early years of Christianity, when the name of Christ was not as powerful as it is now. And this is when the old gods are still extremely powerful. And so John makes a mistake. He tells the truth, which should not be considered a crime, but when you're talking to Neptune and letting him know that, yeah, the time period we come from, nobody believes in you anymore. Oh, that was not a good idea. But the gods are talking about this Christ, and basically, he asks a very simple question. Is he forgotten where you come from? And John, as I said, John makes a mistake. He tells Neptune the truth. Nobody believes in you anymore. And he gets very, very pissed off. So then they have to run, literally, And they encounter these husband and wife. They are owners of what would be known as Goodfellows, and they are there as punishment by the gods for their sins. So they are the people that ran it before something happened. Because we really don't know the line of owners. We know that people have always run it or ran it. So they're told to go to see Herne the Hunter. Now, Herne the Hunter, I believe, appears in book 2. I'm not exactly sure. So Herne the Hunter is stuck in this underground, and we don't really know why he's stuck. In that book, we don't know idea why he's stuck. Why is he stuck? Why can't he just leave and go back to the forest? So we find out that the reason that Herne the Hunter is trapped in the night side is that he left his domain and went into the city. And there is a new figure that appears in the night side. This is the God of Thorns. The God of Thorns represents the new religion. And because the God of Thorns is now over the business of the night side, he traps Herne the Hunter into the night side. So that's what happens with him. So we finally get an answer to that. And then the God of Thorns sends him both further back to the very beginnings of the night side, when Lilith created the night side as a place where monsters could basically have fun and live in peace. And and of course, guess who's waiting for them? It's the angels and the demons. And basically, they know they go in themselves, they will not have any kind of power. And it kind of starts the whole process of like why John Taylor is hated like he is. So, overall, loved this book. This book was so good. Simon R. Green is a really, really great storyteller. He has the ability to craft a world that feels real. And it's an amazing book. It is an amazing book. So I gave it 5 stars on Goodreads because it definitely deserved it. Alright, so the next book that I am reading, starting tomorrow, is going to be Murder in the Secret Garden by Ellery Adams. I told you guys I was going to read this book starting on Monday, and then on the 19th I will read the second of the 2 books that I chose to read for this month. But anyways, real excited about it. I probably will have this book read by Wednesday at least. So yeah. Alright, so that's it for today. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. I want to also add that later on today I will be doing the reading wrap-up for the... No, not the reading wrap-up, sorry. My review of the books I read last month. So that will be later on today. So I look forward to it. So I will see you guys next time. Bye.